What a glorious, spectacular, and awe-inspiring start to the morning. We can see crypto is up a little bit, but as we know, on this Monday morning, when the US wakes up, we always like to see how the volatility shakes out. XRP is just below that $3 level, held $2.95 like a champ over the weekend. Now, there's two conflicting things that could go on here. One, we could start a five-wave movement down, which we would have to break below 295 to start to validate something like that, and then further push 285. Or what I'm hopeful is that we pushed out, we held that 294 over the weekend. We pulled down here to the uptrend, which we can align this even better now that we have the evidence. But we lined this up so perfectly this weekend to where when it was a thinly traded, when the Chicago Mercantile Exchange was offline, if you watched the live yesterday, we came down to 294. It closed at around $3 on Friday, and by the time the market came back on, we we're right around that opening. Now we're on the top side. If that top side holds, we're looking at a surge up near the $3.80 area. And in the short-term fractal, if this plays out bullish and doesn't break down below 285, we should be looking at plus $3.30 here this week. However, that can be invalidated with the five-wave move down if we break $2.85, in my opinion. First sign that something just isn't right is that this in real time 295 gives way. This weekend it's done absolutely spectacular in the moment. I feel pretty comfortable where we're at. I feel great about Dolly Varden. It had a drop down this morning. We talked about it yesterday. It's dropping down even more. And we'll see if this ends up being a buying opportunity for some who haven't bought in, or if this is going to surge out of here this morning. We talked about it on Sunday that they have the offering that can be up to 13%, that they're going to have common shares, but they're being bought back at $6.50, which means right now, much like we looked at First Majestic in the past when it had a steep drop, much like we looked at Fortuna and Hecla when they had those steep drops, another opportunity is lining up with Dolly Varden because they're putting this float out there and being purchased at $6.50 because they said the stock is too cheap. I did a lot of deeper research, so it's definitely something in the moment to pay attention to. In the morning, we should have this shakeout shuffling. But as far as we look at in the chart, we're oversold in the 3 and 4 hourly. It did a great job shaking itself out. We'll see if we push bullish or we continue to come down past this level with the reversal, because I still could see a drop down as we marked down yesterday to a quick shakeout, the $4.30 area. If it plays that way, it is very possible. I'm not saying don't buy now, but what I'm saying is that could happen. Now, it is still in a really good spot right now with what they're attempting to do, but there's still a lot of risk for reward here. We've got First Majestic up 11% today, up over $13, which is unbelievable because we were buying it at $4 and $4.50. And it just that continues to move up. Hecla, we were buying at $4.55, and our last purchase was around $5.20. Up 6% today, up over $12.63. Silvercorp Mining, which remains one of the most undervalued silver miners, we were buying it at about $4. Now it's at $7.30 after another 4.3%. Gold's up $59 an ounce, up 1.55% to $3,945, pushing 4K for the first time ever. We've got Barrick Gold up 2.92%, just under $35. We've got B2 Gold up another 4.7%, now up to $5.32. Remember our first purchase at $2.28, all the way up to $3.38 roughly, or $3.42 for the smallest purchase, but we still bought it on that big dip. Silver's up 1.38%, tapping up over $48, getting closer to $49 now. Pan America Silver pushes over $40 a share now, at up 3.07% to $40.27. We started buying this at $18 and capped it off at $24. Unbelievable. These movements are unbelievable. I would take a hard look at Dolly Varden this morning as people are being thrown off the trail, as we talked about when it first happened. And now the 13% float can be bought up. and they're buying it at $6.50. So it's actually being bought at a much higher number. I still wouldn't be surprised if we had a shakeout to the downside this morning, just because that's how things work out when things like this are announced, but I would definitely be paying attention to that. So I wanted to make sure to hit that as the morning started. As we said, XRP when we first started is looking phenomenal with where it's at. Assuming that 295 holds and it's held like a champ this whole weekend, we should be volatile to start here. We know ZBAC should be in for a correction now. It had a beautiful push up. We talked about it over the weekend, even before. Now we're looking for that back test if you missed out at 45489. But it had a stellar move up from here on Thursday into Friday. Talked a lot about it Saturday over here. And it was a nice move up. Little opportunity over the weekend for a little bit of a surge. It ended up 25% movement. It was phenomenal. Talked about it the entire way. I love that positioning. And where it's going to go. We have further evidence with Linea. We've got this perfectly set up in a broadening wedge. We've either got a support or resistance target over the top. But if we look at this in a deeper setup now, we actually have evidence to expand this pattern. So everybody who's into the Swift understands Linea is the beta testing for their blockchain that they're going to use. So 2.9 should be that resistance area if we keep pushing up. Now understand, 4 days from now on Friday, on October 10th, unfortunately, we have 1.08 billion tokens being unlocked from their holdings that'll be put onto the market. So we don't know how that's going to affect it, but that's an awfully big amount put onto the market, much like what XRP does. So, and we don't know if this is going to come down or if this is going to continue out right now, but we are eventually probably, because this is what we like to do after breaking out of patterns, we back test the breakout. So I'm anticipating some kind of back test at some point, somewhere around here. If it doesn't happen and we continue going up, we'll reevaluate, but it's been a spectacular 25% movement so far in about a day and a half. Bitcoin up over, it almost hit that 126. We talked about how that was going to be the movement. Once we broke over 115, it was a guarantee to come up to 126, 682. Even if bearish, you wanted to come up to what looks like a little bit of it's that rising wedge resistance that we're going to have to come up to, but we also formed a bit of a broadening wedge here. And we already hit a couple, 2-3 times on the support structure. Now it was meant to come back up to the resistance side of town, which we're doing right now. If that gets rejected, that's where you could see a pull down all the way to 98K. But there's a very strong positioning here where this could break out here as well. We're getting closer to November. And as we know, once we get through the September down, October, we call it Uptober because it corrects the down. Starts off greenish to be variable. And then by mid-November, first to second week in November, we are cooking. I'm going to start with a little bit of relaxation. My back's killing me this morning. I did my workout. But I get tightness in the morning. I broke my back when I was 23. I have herniated L4, L5s. I have disc degeneration disease, spinal stenosis, and I'm missing something. So gets a little painful, but we're going to start with a little relaxation together. Nothing I can't handle and nothing I haven't been dealing with for almost 20 years. But welcome in, everybody. I greatly appreciate seeing everybody, and good morning. 9:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, October 6th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And please don't forget about XLR. We talk about it eventually. We won't be talking about it in this space. It'll be over 34 and ultimately may have a huge breakout. It's only a matter of time. It's oversold in the weekly. Daily starting to reverse back up. As we'll see if it ever loads up. Still pushing with plenty of room. But that weekly is desirable. 3 hourly's got plenty of room. We're pushing up still in the smaller time frames. 4 hourly got plenty of room. Monthly looks in a strategically good spot as well. So, I mean, eventually this is going to have a harsh reverse. That weekly is very desirable. Could it reverse farther down a little bit? I mean, I'm sure it could. But we've already been testing these areas quite a bit. And this is basically the support structure. down below 26.68 over the top 34.48. Came up 4.8% today. So a lot of stuff to pay attention to this morning. I'm excited about this trading week. Excited. Dan Marginal, welcome in, along with Shane and Jess Sendit. Thank you for being in Tom's on 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Jade from Mix, good morning. Crypto Cooter, welcome in, along with Joseph Euler. Thank you both for being in Tom's on 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And Crypto Cooter, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. Ben Graham, good morning. Mark Korf, John Hall, welcome in. Kyle Bessany, Robert Latham, welcome in. Mr. Stock, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's on 3+ months with the XP Meteor. Frankie Fresh, thanks for being in town for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And good morning to Janine as well, your significant other. And hopefully your hand's doing as good as it can do this morning, and you're ever so slowly gaining that momentum in your fingers and that movement. We always say a prayer for you, my friend. Amen. Mosey here, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Kareem, welcome in, and thanks for being our newest member in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I salute you, my good friend. Thank you so much for that continued support. Mrs. Stott, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army. Almost at 3 months now, just at the back end of your second month with the Dusty Dollars Crypto News, and so blessed and honored to have you in here. Ronald Grump, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the Dusty Dollars, with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Adam Carrillo, welcome in. Bearded Viking, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. We say a blessing for your young one as well. Hope for continued good health in the time of uncertainty, and prayers for you and the family as well, my friend. Thank you so much. Jorge, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Says, hello, people. Hello, Tom. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to Tom's channel for the best technical analysis on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that. And thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram, helping us push forward and stay positive, stay on the right track. Gray Pawn, True, good morning. True, I'm so glad to see you in here as well. Was in here in the last bear market and understood technicals to a minute level, so you could help out a lot. Cannabis Podcast, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRB Predictor, doing a very, very diligent job on YouTube talking about the holistic healing of cannabis and so many other things about the beautiful, beautiful plant that God's bestowed on us for good healing and health. So make sure you check out his channel on YouTube. And if you're asking me why, I'm a paid subscriber of his channel. That's how much I believe in his content. No joke. It's phenomenal. D. Rojas, good morning. Josh Jolly, welcome in. Mark Korf. Mario Louise Willamese, what a name, and welcome in. AWL, good morning. Eddie Lance, welcome in. What a great group we have this morning. Great positive, filled with vibes, momentum, goodwill, good faith, good vibes. Tango, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's over 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Jesse, welcome in. So awesome to see you this morning. B. Southtown, welcome in. Says cannabis is God's gift. It sure is. It's God's gift to healing. I agree. D. Rojas, thank you so much for the very generous $4.99 super chat. That is super generous. That hard-earned money that is not easy to earn, especially these days with the devaluing of the dollar. It says, ain't much, but I want to show a little love. Oh, it's far more than you're giving yourself credit for. That's extremely, extremely important for what I do. No joke. Because I put out all my content out for free since March 24th of 2021, and it's for generosity. The ones like you and the ones in Tom's Army who allow me to do that with the pay it forward mentality, which I thought was a beautiful model for the community when I started. A lot of people think I'm crazy because I don't do paid sponsorships or charge for my content, but I think it's not crazy. I think if we're trying to inspire everybody, we have to do this from a standpoint of all for one. And that means I have to give all my time for free. And don't feel sorry for me. I make $2,000 a month roughly on YouTube, so that's not free. And I do okay trading, as you all know. So don't feel sorry. But about 90% of that $2,000 a month is because of the generosity of all of you being in Tom's Army, sending the YouTube super chats. Only about 10% of that's ad revenue because I turn it off during lives. And I turn it on only after the lives end so that they'll push it around. But if you need encouragement to watch the lives, do it on YouTube during the live. Because I turn ads off 100% of the time. And yeah, I give away, I don't know how much money per live, but I really don't care. I'd rather us have a very inclusive environment. If you're looking to trade, before I forget, TOOBIT, I've been testing this so much on ZBCN over this week because it's very volatile, and I was buying and selling, even in the most volatile moments, and it was spot fucking on. There was barely any differential. Even when I did a market order, which was risky on $11,000, it was up $550, and it sold out up $524, or $516, sorry, because there was $34 down. It sold out of, and a market order on $11,564. I had, or $11,554. I had $11,516 left on that gain initially. Then I bought and sold, did a bunch more yesterday. The fees are so minimal, that's why I keep pushing it. It reminds me of BitUnix, maybe even to the next level. So give it a shot. It's USA relationships are expanding. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees that I found now here in the USA. And you don't need to do a KYC or VPN, period. It's an NO.KYC exchange, so give it a shot. Swimbush, welcome in, and thanks for being in Towns Zone 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, along with Crypto Plumber 589. Dylan Tremley, welcome in, says Bitcoin new all-time high today. It's in the simulation. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. We've been pushing at this since not this past Saturday. The Saturday before, about 9 days ago, we talked about the rally coming. And now it's spectacular up to 126. And then if that breaks, we know we come up to 143. Just remember that. 126 breaks, we go to about 143. There is a stopping measure at 136 roughly, but I'm not sure it would hold. In the same breath, remember, if 126, 682 gets rejected, you could theoretically come all the way to the bottom of the broadening wedge at about 99, 149. So let's just break what looked like a rising wedge and go back to the top side. Jordan English, good morning. How are we feeling about the markets overall this morning? Pretty good. Pretty good. It's doing what we're hoping for. We need XRP to push 306 next. So look for 306 to get over. But looking pretty good right now. Can't complain at all. Won't complain. I will keep begging everybody to buy XLR while you can. But I'm not going to beg. Other than that, I'm not going to beg. I know it's not available in a lot of places. BitUnix has it. So, I mean, we still have viability there if you want to trade it. TOOBIT has it. There's a lot of viability there. You can do it in the futures and in spot, which is very helpful. You have, I believe, let me check WEX real quick, which is also in the video description below under pinned comments for spot IOTA. So if you're on there for spot IOTA, they have XLR as well in futures and spot, so you could very well buy it there as well in futures and spot. They have a great relationship with the USA. My bottom line is don't skip it. Like, please, don't skip out on it. That's the only thing I'm begging you. Don't skip out on XLR. I know it's not for everybody, but where it's at is legitimately very small circulating supply, and it would be the equivalent of buying a very cheap XRP. A very cheap XRP, and there's... For the price, I mean, even 10,000 tokens right now, let's do some math, would be under $3,100. And it's like, I know it's up 5.5%. Weekly's oversold. We're making a pushback up towards this resistance area. We tapped the support several times, and it's been in a very big downturn. It looks like we're going to flip bullish in the near future. If it were to come down farther, now, obviously, if you didn't buy it, yeah, I was encouraging it when it was down 5% or down at 28 and 27. But 30 cents is not a bad buy at all. At all. So just consider that when you're paying attention to this very, very, very volatile market. And I won't sugarcoat it. I've got just over 10,000 tokens, as you all know. I've been talking about it. I had some great inside info about XRP at 30 cents a couple years ago from some XRP gurus, so more will be coming once profit-taking time happens. Oh, Mr. Rojas, I appreciate that. I didn't realize you were talking about me until I read it farther, because you made a donation. I had just clicked. Like, I'm like, oh, well, there's other people, obviously, that understand it, too, which is nice to see. I just clicked, you're talking about me. I feel like such an idiot. But, yeah, I'm glad that you were here for a couple years ago, and we were able to make, let's just face it, we're up we're over 9x right now, even in current positioning. But we're absolutely stoked. I got a very interesting comment yesterday, which somebody came to my behalf. I don't understand these comments. And some are like, Tom, you always talk about all these people that are negative towards you, but we don't see it. Where's this at? I don't want top. I hate how it does that with the comments. You know, it's like I am the person putting out this comment. I want to see every damn comment, not all of them. I don't want to see none of them. Look, I can't even see the comment I want because it's not. And thank you, Kay, for that $5 donation. I really appreciate that. Unbelievable how it does this. Sometimes YouTube just really pisses me off. Like, I should be able to see my comments without any bullshit. This guy. The charts are lying to you. Throw it away. XRP doesn't go over $3 and stay until clarity is signed into law. I've been saying this forever a month, but YouTubers still want to spew bullshit chart shit. I'm the last person who should get that kind of disrespect in the comment, and I literally said what I felt. I said, sounds like you have mental issues and can't read. Maybe take 1 minute, look at my history so you don't sound like a jackass. Like, that's the kind of shit, you know, we get in the comments all the time. It's like, hello, we bought it at 30 cents, brother. Just because you didn't buy it and you want to act like it doesn't move. Wait a minute, are we over $3 today already when you just said we won't go back over? Interesting. Coping issue. The only coping issue is that people want to make you feel bad for not being in when we talked about it. It's that common, that's the common stuff I get all the time. And I look at it like, what the fuck? No. I like giving these trolls the time of the day because, you know, it's like you said, Lord forgive them. They know not what they don't know and not what they spew, and that the devil's on their shoulder. Oh, this isn't mad. This is me liking to put some stuff out there so you guys can see the mindsets. You can be part of the progressive mindset, or you can be part of the mindset that gets left behind. I feel great this morning. That's why I'm talking about it. I don't get mad at it anymore. I just make a point. I make a point. Sola Jeffy, respect. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Love it. Thank you so much for that this month. When we were not doing so hot, right, with the market. But now you see Ethereum's up. And I love everybody who comes in here day after day, because what did we talk about Ethereum all last week? Now that we got back over this 428, our next big move is 5,348. I mean, it's in a broadening wedge. A broadening wedge is identified by 2 hits on support, 2 hits on resistance. And we had that intermediate area where we fell through. Once we held 4,429, it's speaking to a move up by a technical definition even to 5,341, which would also be the top of a wedge. It's insane. No, the trolls don't get attention at home. I agree. Wimbush. And thank you so much for being in town during 3+ months of the XP Meteor. I think it's also a coping issue. Imagine if you were actually watching and you were seeing it at 30, 35, 40, 50, 70, and then every time it went to 90, went back to 40, you got some kind of small satisfaction like, oh, I knew it. And now you're sitting here at $3, and every time it goes from 330 back to 270, you're like, see? I told you. It's like, yeah, it's an I told you, but it's up from 30 cents to 270. So did you really tell me anything? You know, I don't know anybody who wouldn't be happy about 3,000 into 30,000 right now. Or even if you bought it at 50 cents on 10,000, because I base it on 10,000 tokens. Whether or not I have more or not, I thought it was realistic for the general public, including myself, to get 10,000 tokens at that time. Do I see it as realistic now? Absolutely not. You know what people are doing? Hey, Tom, you're saying it's not realistic, but I put $1,500 into the 17x to get the 10x, or the 10,000. Well, congratulations, but you're literally sitting on a move down to $2.80 and you're liquidated. You know, so I want to do it in safe, sound money. I want to have it in spot. So I'm just trying to push the same message I pushed. There was also a nice comment in there too. A great comment over the weekend. So let's not, there's been a lot of great comments, but there was also somebody who made me feel good personally, because I went back and looked at an older video, and they were happy that we stayed consistent with our tune. And I was happy about that. Very happy about that. But as you can see, so many bullshit, so much XRP failed to hold 298 currently. No, it didn't fail to hold. 295 was actually the pull down if you watch. I even put it in my title, but I understand. Unsure why a channel on XRP and title would be critical of anyone asking if XRP is a good buy now. Just because someone wasn't present when it was 17.30 or even 50 is not a reason. We already discussed this. Price discovery hasn't reached XRP. No, Mr. Plant, you're looking at it in the wrong way. I didn't say you can't buy it. I just said when you're looking at a 1x move to finish off the cycle until it goes higher, there's other opportunities that will make you more than 1x in the same period. That's all I've said. Like, look, ZBEC just made us 25% in a day. XRP's up 1%. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not bagging on XRP. Do I not have XRP? Have I not had it for a very long time? And the only reason you're unsure of why a channel would be saying this is because you're not used to a channel talking about XRP telling you the truth. You got 157,000 stations that'll lie to you, so go for it. Let's see. Plan is at all-time highs, blah, 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 blah. Somebody was mad about the fact that I played a prayer over my soundtrack, but, you know, that is what it is. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This person, Mr. Tolly, said, good to hear the old stuff. Keep truthful, much respect. I love when somebody comments about the old stuff, because it's very hard to... where the hell did that go? Oh, right down here. But it was something, we stayed true to it in the community, and the ones who paid attention to it. Because I, too, also like to hear it. So I get this question. So, hey, if everybody wants to question how different I look from when I first started, look at my face alone. That's how much weight I've lost since I started. But listen. XRP future millionaire. So I get this question all the time, and I must address it. So I've asked Quez, how many XRP should we buy? The most important thing with this question is you can only buy what you can afford. Don't use money that you spend on bills month to month. And when you're in crypto, the biggest mistake people make is they put their life savings in it. Only put what you can afford to put in here and let grow over time. My personal plan, when the end game comes, is 10,000 XRP tokens, 10,000 XLM tokens, 10,000 XDC. And look, we got to change our XDC to a minimum of 100,000 because of how good we traded the last 3 years. Now it's 100,000 minimum on XDC. Here I said 10,000. Look at that big change. That just shows you. See, tokens. And that's a 3-part plan. That doesn't have to do with the other ISO coins, but when you buy XRP, think XRP, XLM, XDC. So you make 3 parts equal in 1. So if you can only afford 2,000 of each, I would go with 2,000 of each. But for me, 10,000 XRP. So that's just been the plan for years. And that was almost 3 years ago when I put that video out. And hell, you can tell it wasn't from today. Look at my face compared to today. And seeing that video, I didn't realize it was such a big transformation from since I started YouTube. Makes me feel good, though, seeing the old videos. That was like 195-ish when I started YouTube. My biggest was 265. Now I'm like 174. But I didn't have any muscle when I started on YouTube. I've been lifting for the last three years or so. ZBCN, I'm telling you, ZBCN is it's a great token. It is. And we've been all over ZBN's nuts to where we've made 400, 500, 600% on it in previous movements. We've made a couple 100% in others. But this community loves ZBCN. We've been talking about it since way down here, remember? 00082 or whatever, or 84 when we made our first purchase. Rode it up to here and sold it. Bought it back all the way back down. Rode it up, bought it back. Didn't buy it back until right about, where was it at? Before that 25% move. And it's been a spectacular thing. And now you're kind of looking for a hold here. You're looking for a hold here with ZBEC. I'm not no more buying in and out. I tested it out for the platform for the last couple of days, but now that it's moved up some 20% here on this last move and then shuffled and did this and that. I did very briefly when it came up. I've been buying and selling to see how it would be in high times of volatility, but this has been better than a $1,500 move here in the last day and a half. So Why don't you have or talk about XRP? Well, because I think Linnea is another one that where it's at. I know we have 1.08 billion tokens being released, but if you play devil's advocate, don't you think we might have a rally in the next 5 days before that token release? And we don't know if that release is going to lead to a price up here and then a back test, or it gets locked up. We don't know, but I would think right now you buy it in this range between here and 248. And if you want to get rid of it, just hear me out. If you want to get rid of it, and if everybody's wondering how many ZBAC I have, I roll with 1 million tokens. Over the weekend, I upped it to 2.5 to do the buying and selling. But I consistently will hold 1 million. So it will never go under 1 million, even if I'm doing the buying and selling, FYI. So if I say I have 3 million, that's because I bought a little bit more for a little trade. But I've been testing out TOOBIT at the highest extreme. I'm telling you right now, I am still stunned by how cheap it is to trade on there. You're talking about high volatility in market orders just being fucking phenomenal. And Linnea now, I feel the tug to grab 100,000 or tokens here. I really do. I feel a tug. And I can't explain it. My gut's telling me, you know, this is an inverse head and shoulders here. You've been waiting for this right shoulder. You know it's going to come test this. Now, even if it bounces in here, you can buy it. And even if you know it comes through, you can sell it for cheap on TOOBIT for no fee, basically, and then just rebuy it at 128 or 17, or just keep buying it on the way down. I firmly believe this is cheap. Cheap! But it could get cheaper because of these releases of tokens. Would it be a good idea to trade 1 million DGB for Axor? I don't hold DGB anymore because of issues with the blockchain that I had. So I'm not going to tell you no, but it's up 6.2% today. Just remember that. You all know my issue that I had with DGB. I had their actual wallet that they advised you, and all my stuff went missing. Over 2 million tokens. They didn't do shit. It was about 17, 18,000 worth at the time, dollars worth. I had to locate the one who created the wallet, who actually helped me. But I had to go out on a limb and give him all my password phrases and everything. And at that point, all of it was lost anyhow. So I sat there going, well, it's either this person's honest, since they're the creator of the wallet and they have some integrity, or I'm just screwed. And fortunately, they had integrity. And they got it back. DGB, their actual support still has not done shit. So, and then looking deeper, it looked like a lot of the stuff was spliced and all this bullshit. So, yeah, I'm not backing them anymore. I haven't for a while. But not because it just, sometimes they steal your innocence. And when you see how they actually work, that's your biggest evidence. And it kind of sucked dick. At least with the Ledger, when you have problems, they actually comment back and they actually try to help. True story. So, anyhow, gold's up $62. That 1.6% in gold's a huge move in one day. Just enormous. Whew. Silver up 1.28%. Can you believe the gold silver ratio has gotten bigger? Bigger? It's gotten bigger. And apparently I had more XLR than I thought. Apparently I bought 14,340. I swear I only bought 10,000. Unless what ended up happening is I had the buy order set and I put a certain amount of money, and when it went down it filled it, and it was, when I bought it was cheaper than I was thinking. Yeah, 28.79 cents is where I bought it, but I don't remember buying 14,000. Hey, maybe I bought extra when it was down there. I don't know. Maybe I bought it at 30 and then I bought it when it was at 20. I don't even know how it got to 14. Huh. That's kind of weird. Man, it's fine by me. That means I could sell off 4,000 if we had a big run up. Axlar, how far did it go in the prior bull run? A lot higher. But we have to go back in the way back machine. If you go back, well, I mean, in its last bull run, Axlar's last bull run. Because it went up much higher. But remember, Axlar started, I wanted to make sure this was the highest it ever was going. It was sitting around the 230 level. And then it had one big pushback up to $1.11. But once it fell down from here, it was game over. And it's been game over for a very long time. But they have a very small token supply, and I'll talk about it in just a second. I know there's another exchange that had it a little bit farther out. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was around here. I know it was early 24 when we first got to trade it. Yeah, so it was up in the $2 plus range. Sat a couple times at $1.25 and $1.11. It's just, it's building a very long consolidation here. And once it gets back into price discovery, this thing tends to move very quickly, but it's been a very long, drawn-out process, as you can see. Very long. And we've been just looking at it from this perspective for some time. It's actually supposed to be up like this. This is good enough. Close enough. But it's been a very long process. It's getting to the end of it, though. So you're starting to run out of time of this 28 to 38 cent area. You really are. It even came up here to 63 for a brief touch, which we can say that was our third hit of resistance. So maybe that's why I pulled that down. It probably is, yeah. Because you have evidence. It probably is. Yeah, oh yeah. It definitely is the reason I did that. So yeah, I mean, it's come up better than $2, over $1. No, Matthew, I was waiting for the live to discuss if I wanted to buy some at this level. So I wanted to wait for the live to discuss it. I know we have the token unlock coming, 1.08 billion, but for me, I kind of feel like they could have a little rally here first, going into that unlock, and we have this nice little inverse pattern. I set this up for the newest evidence because I think we're in what looks like a bit of a broadening wedge to the top side. At least it's been broadening, but I see a short-term pattern that developed with this resistance over the weekend. So I think we're actually still trying to cook here in the short term. You can take it a little more micro and have it a little smaller, and I'll show you what I mean. So if you were looking for evidence before we got this tap above us, you could have played the micro, and you could have kind of did something like, hey, you know, we're in this, we couldn't get out over here, and we don't really know what we have over the top, so now we're trying to get over this. And you can see how, at least at the micro level, we're starting to push over it. So now you kind of play it level by level, but I kind of am under the impression here you could buy it, and then if it breaks 248, you could sell it and then rebuy it back at 169 or 131 as it melts down, if that's the case. Yeah, I'm not afraid of this chart. If you want my, I'm not afraid of it because we know what it can do on the way down, and we also know it can go all the way up to 4-1. What if it makes a nice run up 20% before the, or 50% or 30% before the that little dump from their escrow? Because this token just came online September 1st. So I think it's I think that's, you know what? Fuck it. I keep talking about it. Why don't we just do what I just said? And we'll see what happens. Let's see. See how, and I want to show you guys when it buys. So I'm going to put it at 2.7. Where are we at right now? 2.766. 2.77. I like to put it up to like where it will fill my order. And it'll fill it lower, but let's see. Amount 222,000. Kind of like that. Kind of like that right now. And then if it does its dropout phase, that's fine. And the cool thing about this exchange is it tells you what your fee is before you buy. Like, you don't have to wait until after. It'll tell you, oh, it's $1. And I like that. I like it. It's basically filled. And then I want to see what prices it gave me. Sorry, I'm doing this in real time, so it filled so far 128,000 tokens, which means there's still 94,000 being filled. Now it's filled 50,000 more. Looks like it's filling at 2769 right now. Well, it's bouncing around because the price is going up and down, as you can see probably on the chart. Now it needs to fill 44,000 more. But the price, you know, it's bouncing around, so I like to let it bounce a little bit because it'll go up as you buy it, you know, as the liquidity. You just let it kind of come down and tap you again. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what's going on here. So it filled 178,000 tokens. Let's go back to spot and see why it's not filling the last 44,000. Oh, because the price is over the top. See, the price got over the top a little bit from where it was at 2769. So now it's not filling the rest of them. Let's see. So, yep, that's exactly what it is because it got over the top. So what did I say it was? 44,000 or some shit? Yeah, 44,000 it's waiting to do. So I'll move it to... On here it says it can be filled at 772. So we'll see if it can. Little bit filled. It's still waiting. 30,000 left. But you can change it. Like if you're doing it at any time, you can change it to... Oh, here we go. The price just... On here it came back to 2... Oh, well, it might not fill the last 30,000. No, I'm confident it will. Because there's a buy order right next to it. There, it just picked it up. Nice. So I have 222,228 tokens. It filled at an average cost of 2,769. I wish I could show you it. How it filled up. I wish I could show you it. But I can't. There's no way for me to show. I guess I could. Here, let me take a screenshot of this. I'll send it into my Telegram so you can see I'm not lying. That it filled it at 2,769. I'm just going to put it in my pager thing real quick so it's easiest to see. So, it filled it on TOOBIT, giving it time to do it. And you've seen the price went up to 2,777 while we were talking. So, the price, though, where's the pager? It did it at 0.2769 average cost. So, I wasn't bullshitting anybody. I was actually being honest. So, but just remember, this isn't a guarantee because it can, so that was $6,166.83 to get 22222 apparently. Oh, it's funny how it felt like that. What was the fee? I want to tell you the fee as well. And I'm not afraid of the market. Like if it goes down, I've got the area where I know if it goes past, you know, you can in theory sell and buy and try to catch that cheaper drop. So that's all I'm looking for right now. That's all I'm looking for. And it's such a tight range. I really want to see the fee though. Let's see. Mania. History. I don't know. I mean, it couldn't have been that much because my money actually went up when I was buying. It went up $40 as I was buying Linnea, so. Between that and Axelar, because Axelar sits on this exchange, because I moved it over from BitUnix. Or, I mean, moved it over from Crypto.com. Maybe that's how. Maybe I bought more when I flipped it over to TOOBIT to see how the exchange was. That's probably what I did. Because I know I had to have bought 4,000 more while I was somewhere. Must have been to test the exchange out. Papa Wheelie, welcome in and thanks for being in Town Center for over 1 year at the I Told You So Bad going to my Flagger research class. Have a good day. Oh, good luck with that, my friend, on your recertification. Those are always the most interesting times. You know what it is, but you still got to go do it. So good luck with that, my friend. G. Williker says, I cannot quite explain this market feeling, Tom, but I am strangely hard as a rock watching your show. You're not the only person who's sitting there with an erection. If Mike's in the audience, Mike Oxmells, he's probably sitting in the same situation. But he would say he's in his wife's boyfriend's thong while watching the show. Small joke for anybody who knows. 1970 legend, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Along with Syrian and UK Phil. And thank you so much. 1970 legend for being a very trusted mod in here. And Syrian for being a trusted mod in here and in the Telegram. And as we know, 1970 Legends is our resident Buckeye. I kid you not, our resident Buckeye in the house. Couldn't even let me have the defending championship for 1 calendar year when they had to, win it and steal it back from us. But I can't say I wasn't rooting for Ohio State because I was. I even bet on them to win. But because I don't like Notre Dame either, and I would have rather just see the Big Ten win it. And I know some people think I'm stupid, but that's the truth. So at least the Big Ten's won it 2 years in a row. And at the very least, Ohio State lost to us on purpose to lose for the 4th straight time, so they didn't have to play Notre Dame or Oregon in the Big Ten championship. They can whoop their ass in the playoff on their rematch after losing at home. So I'll stick to that narrative. But we still won 4 years in a row. But Michigan up to number 15 after they won against Wisconsin, and Ohio State, the Ohio State Buckeyes, still at number 1, deservingly so because of the defending champions. So, and I want to put out a stat for you. 1970 legend. I don't know if you know this well, you probably do. Ryan Day, believe it or not, he may have been born on third base, but he stole home on his own. So you got to give him credit. He won a title, like a lot of credit. He has the highest win percentage in the history of college football. And he hasn't been there 1 year. He's been there like 7 years now. Or 6, 7 years. The highest win percentage in the history of major college football. And he's lost to Michigan 4 out of 5 times. So imagine, you have the highest win percentage in college football history, and you've lost to Michigan 4 out of 5 times. That is the only reason why Ohio State fans get pissed. But I wouldn't even get pissed. I wouldn't even care about those 4 out of 5 losses. I won a title. Who gives a fuck? Like Harbaugh. I don't give a fuck. He won a title, and then he left. I don't care. He got a 10-year show clause after that, so he kind of couldn't, but Yes, he does need 3 more years to qualify, but as it stands, it's still the highest win percentage in college football history. So, and I don't see it going anywhere. Do you see this lousy Big Ten with, besides like Oregon, Michigan, a rising Nebraska, but still sucks. Indiana rising, but I mean, when they play Ohio State, they're probably going to lose by 30 again. So, I mean, there's not much competition. He'll probably have a higher win percentage. And he's not going to lose to Michigan 8 years in a row, or 7 years in a row. If he does, I'd be shocked. I hope they lose to us again this year. I think he will, because I think we have an underrated team. I still think Michigan can win the Big Ten. But no, I won't keep talking football, But Michigan basketball, see how I spun it? Should win the title this year. They have the best team in college basketball, hands down. Ohio State doesn't know what it means to be a good basketball team. But, it is what it is. Since Thad Matta, which I never got rid of him. So what? He was a cheater. That's how we win. Michigan didn't win in football until we started cheating. And by cheating, I mean starting to pay players more than you're supposed to. Not sign stealing. Anyhow, XRP sitting at $3.01. Looking pretty good here. I mean, I still feel pretty good about this. And yeah, we've talked about the possibility that we could have a 5-wave movement, but I don't think we've tapped out yet, so to say. I think we're still in good positioning. We still really should retest 330. Even if we have that big movement down. Just because of how topside, we haven't tapped there in a while. Oh, they're all rigged Scotty trades. That's why yesterday I was convinced the Tigers were not going to win. And even though it was our starter, our best pitcher who never loses in those situations, I figured we weren't going to get enough run support. And I put my money where my mouth was. I put a couple $100 on the Tigers to lose. Because I look at desperation. Seattle down 1-0. I don't even watch baseball. But I watch it in the playoffs. I used to love it, but it's just so goddamn boring with all the BS they talk about. But down 1-0 in Seattle for the second home game. Best of 5 series. Next 2 in Detroit. So, yeah. It was a desperation mode. So, that it was like plus 148 when I made the bet. So, it paid off pretty good. I know, it's so funny. Yesterday, I kicked myself because it was the easiest bet of all times to take the Cowboys as underdogs against the Jets. Like it was. But hey, Jim Harbaugh screwed me again yesterday. I had a 4-team parlay that I hit solidly the first 3 teams. And I thought Jim had a lock yesterday in Los Angeles with the Chargers against the Redskins because of what happened. I don't care what they call them. The Commanders, they're still the Washington Redskins to me. Command this. But the Washington Redskins, they had them by the balls after having a horrible loss last week. Up 10-0 to start, and what do? Harbaugh fucks me again. From Los Angeles this time. $50 would have turned into $680, that cocksucker. $50. Picked some great upsets yesterday. I even had the Jets covering 19.5 when they were getting smoked. So he screwed me. Had Baker with the upset. Had... Who else did I have? I don't remember who else. Some good picks, though, and he screwed me. What a Jankovic. That's all I can say. What? I have gift memberships? How did that happen? There's gift memberships on my channel now? Are you serious? When did this start? Seriously, when did this start? This shows up in everybody's thing now? Are you serious? They have not given this to my channel for years. Oh my God, they've been blacklisting me from the gifted subs for years when every other channel gets it. Oh my God. This is a game changer. This has never been available before. Can I give memberships to people now? Or is it not going to let me because it's my channel? Because it doesn't show up on mine. Huh. But anyhow, 1970 Legends. Thank you so much for using the newest. I didn't even know. 10 gifted memberships. And to the 10 new members, let's congratulate the 10 new members. Thank you so much for that, my friend. James Dula. Congratulations on your gifted membership now. 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. G-String, JM1, JG, Game Day Guru, Bigfoot, Rejuvenated Drift, Gary Steely, Cat S, Table Rock Guy. Congratulations on your 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens with the gifted memberships. Unbelievable. Okay, so you have to be a member of Tom's Army to buy a gifted membership. Interesting. Let me see how this works on the membership tab. See, it won't let me do it. Now, can I do something here? I can't do it. Ain't that a bitch? How cool would that be if I could gift members? Anyhow. Gifted memberships have entered the chat. Excellent. Does anybody else see that on your tab? If you're a member of Tom's Army? Not saying to gift them, I'm just saying. Can you all see them now? That is unbelievable. And yeah, please hit the like button as well. That is awesome. Oh, I wish Jesse would have got one. I wish I could give it, wish I could do it myself. I wonder if I go on my phone if I could. Anyhow, that is such a awesome, that's an awesome feature that our community was definitely missing out on because they wouldn't give it to us for some reason. It was kind of disappointing. To say the least. That is so unbelievable that you just did that. You have made my day because I've been wanting that for so long, not understanding why they wouldn't give it to our community. That is pretty damn cool. 1970 legend, the legend is fitting. See why our fellow Buckeye? No, I honestly, one, I can't believe that they gave it to the community. Two, I can't believe you actually gifted 10 memberships to the community. Man. Nice inverse head and shoulders on IOTA, JBHK. And thanks for being a very trusted mod in here, JB. One of the first we ever had. And still loyal to this day. Oh, yeah. I have 40,000 tokens of this. And I see an inverse head and shoulders as well. And I can see it from farther back, forward. It's got a nice consolidation here. And I'm convinced that even if it comes down, I'm buying a shit ton more. I'm not afraid. Honestly, I am not afraid. Oh, yeah, the 4 hourly definitely in the micro there is. It's been working on it for the last, what, since... third week of last month or so when it made this tug down. Oh, September 12th. So, yeah, from 1760, then it came around here and made this little pattern down to a head formation and now to a right shoulder. Absolutely. This should push us out over 20. Yeah, oh, look at that. Mr. Popcorn Butt, thanks for the 3+ month along with Dan Marginal. And Mr. Corn Pop or Mr. Popcorn Butt says, Legend give out NIL deals for the Army now. Laugh out loud. Absolutely. See? Think about it. Ohio State fans give NIL money so that the school can pay players. You can give Tom's Army NIL money so I can continue to put this content out for free and not take sponsorships. I love your line of thinking. Mr. Silver also in the defending Buckeye land from Northeast Ohio. Love it. Oh, no, Jesse, you are fine. There are exceptions to the rule. You do not have to try to validate being in the Telegram. You are validation enough being here every day. I love having you in there. You don't ever have to join Tom's Army. You are already in Tom's Army. Just not with a badge right now. But I'm confident they're going to let me gift badges myself at some point. Wait a minute. What if I go in with my other channel that I'm a member of? Ooh, now we can play 3D chess here. Hold on. Let me go to my other channel that I am also a paid member of Tom's Army on, as you all know. And let's see. Which would be interesting. If I could do it on my other channel. Because if I can, I will. I think this would be awesome. Oh my God, I can. I see it. Membership gifting. Are you kidding me? The gift memberships you send will be publicly announced. Lucky recipients selected by YouTube. Unbelievable. Well, as a thank you from me to all of you, I'm gifting a couple memberships. There's no doubt about that. I'm gifting 5 memberships right now. But it's going to be on my other account because I can't do it myself. There you go. My son has gifted you all 5 memberships. Yes! Jesse, you got the gifted membership. All right, so D. Rojas, congratulations on your first month in Tom's Army. Jesse, welcome back for your 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. As you can see, that's my son's, and he's been in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Gen XTC, I wish it gave you one. I really want you to have one. Mina, congratulations on the 1-month badge. Highly deserved. You do a lot of work in the Telegram. Let's see. Charles, congratulations on the 1-month badge. And Mr. Tolly, how funny the universe works, had a very nice comment about one of my older videos and how I stayed true. And he gets the last of 5 gifted badges. The universe works in some very weird ways sometimes. I hope this helps get more word out to the community as well. I hope some of you who appreciate the community and want to pay it forward, maybe instead of sending a YouTube gift, if you're somebody who does $50, you'll gift it to the community so someone who might not be able to have it has it. Yes, Mina, you are welcome. I'm so glad you got one. Mr. Rojas, you too. Charles, congratulations. And I will be doing more memberships. That was just today. You better believe it. As people pay it forward, I'll be paying it forward as well to my community. As I do every single day. But I want people to support and to be proud of this community. I really do. So, just overwhelming thank you to everybody. Seriously, an overwhelming thank you. I think it's pretty special what we're able to do here now. And you can do 1 gifted membership too. So I guess even if you wanted to do 1. So just one more time as a thank you. Because it is getting short on time. I'm giving 5 more out today, period. I'm doing 10. I'm matching what my friend did. Let's see who it gave to. Sorry, John X, not this time. YouTube did its own thing, but I wanted to give back just like 1970 Legend did. So, congrats! And this is my son's account, as you can see. My autistic son, he's 6, but I created him an account so he could watch our YouTube and stuff. But congratulations, Ricardo, Cash Martin, Jeff Freeberg for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Thank you, Timmy, for being in Tom's Army now for over 1 year. I'm glad that was redone. And Mr. Wise, thank you so much for your 2nd month with the Dust is Out House Crypto News. What a beautiful day it is. We're able to give 20. 10 from me and 10 from 1970 Legend. It just makes me so happy that it's able to be done in our community. XRP is moving down right now. So we do need to hold first layer $2.98 and ultimately $2.95. Otherwise, that's where we could get into a little bit of trouble here and have a 5-wave move down. So don't forget that's a possibility. We want to clear 306 to get out of the woods. So yeah, also a great way to grow the community. It is a great way. So thank you all so much. I got to go, though. Julie's at the dealership. I want to finish something that I promised her before she got home. So have a blessed morning. We'll continue to talk about this. We'll continue today to stay transparent with Linnea. ZBAC, we're watching the consolidation. I believe it was like 4.5. Yeah, 004. We'll call it 6 just to be sure. Not 4.5. 4.56. Band is starting to have that little bit of a move, but we'll see how long it takes. Axelar is doing phenomenal, up 7.3%. We've been talking about beating a dead horse, but we'll see if it comes back down. And yeah, just watch XRP to stay above 298 and ultimately 295. If it falls below that, we very well could have a 5-wave move down and correct some here. It could because we tapped out here if we don't break 306, and then we'll just reverse back up after the two all-time highs in mid-November, early November. So it might be a week early here for XRP because we had a nice move up. So, don't get yourself bagged in a rock and a hard place, but also, pay attention to what we're talking about here. I hope it gives us a little bit of renewed vigor in our community, the fact that we can help support each other in here. It's so awesome. Thank you all so much. I'll never forget this live. This one's going to go down in infamy for the fact that things are looking up in this community and the fact that we're getting more exposure and more opportunity to help each other out. And thank you for the 105 likes today as well. Excellent. And the 20 new members in Tom's Army by gifted memberships. Hope you appreciate the small gesture from not just myself, but also 1970 legend. Who would have thought a Buckeye and a Wolverine? We would have thought because we're the two-time defending